put themselves in that position in the first place? Would you reject them? Would you hate them? Why do we do that to ourselves? Did anyone feel a sense of empathy or an amazement that someone had the ability to go through that? Or not? So see it as an accomplishment, a list of accomplishments. You found a way to survive all of that. Thank God, hopefully it didn't happen all at one time. Or any one or two of them or three of them in a lifetime should be enough for anyone. Yes.
I made a list of 5. It was really interesting. I just thought I would share. Because I have really bad knees, like bone on bone, old knees. They hurt. Can't really do much. Just walk. And it bothers the ego. The ego thought it was horrible, right? I can't dance, can't run, I can't exercise, can't do sports. It didn't bother the soul. The soul was like, I did worse to Dad because in a past life I crippled him because I abused him. There was this con artist boyfriend who stole a whole lot of money from me, and it bothered the ego. The soul was fine with it. The soul said, nah, I owed him from a past life. Dad molested me. It bothered the ego. The soul was like, I did worse to him. When I was 15 in high school, I was suicidal for no reason. And it was the soul. The soul was, the soul said I didn't deserve to live, and it was dealing with past life stuff at that time. And I had a court case a couple years ago, and that just bothered the ego, but not the soul. So I thought it was really interesting that something's bothered the ego and something's bothered the soul.
In my spiritual study, it was called the lower self, the higher self, and the ego. And then the ego had a mask or no mask. Okay, so the mask, which we put ourselves down for, is we're hiding behind this facade of being rich, being together, being cool, the cool mom, whatever, that mask. When you look at it closely, it's your higher self. You're actually pretending to be more advanced than you really are. But when you look at those things on the mask list, they're actually noble traits. Why have a mask of negative traits? But some people do. So yes, the idea is we have the child self, which is the lower self. The lower self is honest. Okay, you can't say the lower self isn't honest. But the trouble is the lower self wants what they want, and they want it now, and they don't care who they have to step on again. That's the child. The ego is going to cajole, manipulate, fake, scam, or do whatever, or maybe even do noble things in order to get what they want. But that's what, not always honest. Sometimes they have to wear a mask to survive. The higher self is the higher self, the one who is wise, has lived all the different lifetimes, and has collected all this data and information and wisdom and experience all in one place. All aspects of you with different lifetimes, different names, different bodies, different gender. The higher self. The idea is not to keep everyone all separate. The idea is to integrate the child into the adult, the ego into the higher self. Make it all one so that you have ascended. You are one. Okay, but right now, we have it all split up. So the idea behind all our work is to help a person connect with their child. Speak for the child. Do not kick the child to the curb. That child was traumatized. Help them to say what they need to say. And then take that child's hand and say, I am an adult now. I will protect you. You can count on me. Grow up, and we will get along together. That's what you do to children. That's what you do to people who have lived all those traumas that you're written down. You don't kick them to the curb. You give them empathy. You give them unconditional love. Say, no wonder you're what you are today. No wonder. No judgment, just you're a wonder. You survived all that. Okay, so the higher self, we all have all those pieces. The idea with the spiritual journey is integrated. The ego needs to become the higher self. The higher self needs to bring that wisdom all the way down to the lower self. And the mask, you realize it's what you want to be. You become your mask, throw the mask away. You don't need it. You don't have to hide. All right. Hopefully, it was a productive day. And we'll do a deep dive tomorrow, so get some sleep. And I thank everyone who had the courage